What is up, comic book community? Joe here, bringing you another episode of 360 Comics. And you picked a good episode to watch because today we are starting with part one of what I consider to be the best comic book collection that I have ever purchased. So if you're into Silver and Bronze Age comics, major keys, and even some grails, stay tuned. As of the time of recording this video, we are less than 30 subscribers away from our goal of 3,000, at which point we'll be giving away this book right here, Incredible Hulk number 449, the first appearance of the Thunderbolt. So this is probably one of your last chances to enter. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up for a like, and leave a comment down below. And of course, check out our other videos, like them, and leave comments on them for additional entries. Also, head over to Instagram. As of right now, I think we're about 10 followers on Instagram away from hitting 9,000, and we're giving away this book right here, first appearance of Firestar, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, number 1. As soon as we hit these two, I'm going to be announcing some more giveaways, so make sure you enter, subscribe, follow, all that stuff, and good luck. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that over the last 2 years, I have been extremely fortunate to pick up some really, really great collections. But in my opinion, this one tops them all. And I'll tell you why. You know, I've bought bigger collections than this. I've bought collections with a much higher return on my initial investment. But I paid up for this one because of the quality, the average quality of the books. That being said, the reason I'm saying that is I went through and there was about 22 long boxes. So, 5,000 plus books. And in going through them, I pulled out all the dollar bin stuff, the stuff that's just bulk comics that I'm putting for $1 a piece, real cheap. There was less of that stuff than usual, which is really, really nice. I only got about 8.5 long boxes of dollar bin stuff, which was phenomenal. That's about 40% of this collection, where most collections are more like 70, 80, 90+% bulk, especially collections that are really centric on the 80s and 90s. And fortunately, while this collection did have a lot of stuff from the 80s and 90s, it was a ton of Bronze and Silver Age stuff as well, with even a little bit of Golden Age thrown in there, random books, but nonetheless, still pretty great. So, the overall quality of this collection is better. The average book has a higher value than most collections that I pick up. So even though I've bought, collections with a higher profit margin or, a bigger return on my investment or just a larger collection with more inventory, this one is probably the best one. This guy had a really good eye for curating, just an impressive collection. And I told him, hey, you've got great stuff. And he knew what he had. We ended up working out a price that I think was fair for all parties. He got, much more than a comic store would give him for this kind of stuff. And, I got it at a price that I can still make some money on it. We'll talk about price at the end of the video, kind of. I won't be revealing the exact number, but we'll talk about it. But let's get into first going through a box of comics from this collection, and then we'll get into some more keys that I found in other boxes. This one right here, boom, says ASM on it. And the first book is Amazing Spider-Man Swing Shift, which is the reprint of a free comic book day book that does have the first appearance of Mr. Negative and Jackpot. That is not a bad one. Spectacular Spider-Man number 1. Solid book right there. Variant of Spider-Man 669. Who's buying variants at that point? There might be some good ones there. We got Speedball, first appearance, issue, what is that, Annual 22, I think. We got Annual 17. Oh, this might be a good box. Look at this one. Amazing Spider-Man 298, first Todd McFarlane, first cameo of Eddie Brock. We got the first full Eddie Brock, first cameo of Venom. This is going pretty well. Are these newsies? That's a newsie. Okay, all right. What's next? ASM 252. All right. We got a pretty good box here so far. I'm going to take this chunk out in the front so we have some more room. And I see the next book already. Just happens to be another copy of ASM 252. Can't go wrong with that. Oh, here's a big one, guys. Oh, look at that. I was a little bit disappointed with that last box, but then we're going on to Silver Age keys right here. First Rhino. Oh my god, this box is, yeah, we're doing well here. We're doing well. All right. Boom. The very next issue. By the way, that was Death of Gwen Stacy, Death of Green Goblin, two big ones. Oh my gosh. Amazing Spider-Man 194, first appearance of Black Cat. I'm happy about that. ASM 361, and it's a newsstand first appearance of Carnage. We got the second appearance of Carnage newsstand. Lots of newsstands in here. That's great. Another one, third appearance of Carnage. And we're going back now to the Bronze Age, issue 200. Issue 127, I think that's the first appearance of the third Vulture. Another Vulture book right there. And back into the Silver Age, issue 73. 12-cent Spider-Man. Oh, that cover. Beautiful cover with Uncle Ben. It's an awesome one. Very cool book. Oh, wait, what? Hold on one second. I need to see this. Was there in fact two of those? First appearance of Rhino? First appearance of Rhino? I'm not sad about that. Oh my god. ASM 74. This box is definitely one of the better ones. ASM 75. 76. Look at this. These might be upgrades to the PC. ASM 96, the first drug issue. ASM 98, the last drug issue. No 97. 113, that is the first appearance of Hammerhead. And 168 with that protest cover. Great one by Romita. 71 with the Quicksilver cover. 72, we got Shocker. Oh, speaking of John Romita, that is the first John Romita on Amazing Spider-Man classic cover. I don't have this book in the PC, so that one is going to almost certainly stay with me. 42. This is first Mary Jane. This is the I think this is the issue where she says, "Face a tiger, you just hit the jackpot." And I would say this box is a jackpot box. Boom! Look at that. That is the third appearance of Lizard. Great cover. Issue 100. Can't go wrong there. Oh man, this box is great. 160. I don't think that's a key or anything like that. Then we're going to get Spider-Man #1, the Miles Morales run. We're just jumping all the way up here to some modern stuff. Uh-oh, acetate cover. Watch out. Those things are controversial. Ooh. Spider-Man, is this a 2? Issue 2? Yeah. From, again, Miles Morales. Oh, I almost had a heart attack. This is the Marvel Tales reprint. Don't worry, not the real thing. That'd be crazy. This is pretty cool. Amazing Spider-Man. This is one of those ones that came with like a record that like tells the story. I collect those. I think I have that one already though. Amazing Spider-Man #1 variant cover. This is I think the first cameo of Cindy Moon. Oh wow. Already had that book, but whatever. Can't complain about having multiples. Already had that as well of Amazing Spider-Man. Great cover here featuring Mary Jane as the Iron Spider. Yeah, the marriage issue, annual 21, I think. Back to some Bronze Age, second appearance of Hammerhead, first cover. 115, working our way up. 116 here. 117, there's some pretty good keys coming up if they're in here. Nah, it skipped then to 130. Skipped a big chunk right there. 132. But we saw a lot of those earlier. So, whatever. 152. 154. Solid Bronze Age filler issues. Definitely no complaints about that. That is Wedding of Ned Leeds, I think. Can't go wrong with a Dr. Octopus appearance. Another 160. 162, I love this one because it's got my boy Nightcrawler in it. Yeehaw. Second copy of the same book. There's that, what is it, first White Dragon. Love this Mysterio cover. Oh, this is a good one. First appearance of Hydro Man. Not a bad little key right there. Skipping way up to the, when Bagley was doing art, late 300s. And then back down to the 80s. Yeah, great ASM stuff. This is a McFarlane book. We got a chunk of McFarlane books right here. These are not bagged and boarded, so I'm going to be pretty careful with these. I'm actually going to not pull them out, but I'll tell you what they are. Yeah, this is all McFarlane. This is, I'll pull this one out because that's a pretty good key, the Christmas issue. None of the big ones. That's the Larson Venom. And that second Larson Venom. And this one, ooh, there we go. That's the Larson Venom that everyone wants. With that slobbery tongue. See if I can get in here a little bit better. Back to some copper or maybe late Bronze Age ASM. Some 80s stuff. Not keys here, but solid books. That's a key. That's got to do, that's part of the Hobgoblin run. 251 there. It's a minor key. I think that's part of the proposal. It's a weird cover. All right. That's another McFarlane book, 302. We got 303. I don't think there was a 301. We didn't see a 301. There's 304. Some of these are sticky. 305. Oh, mess up the book. Yeah, 306, 307, 308. Oh, another first appearance of Carnage, 361. That's the second print. First Cletus Cassidy. Death of Aunt May. This was like a really special book to me when I was a kid. I had a copy of it. 309. Back to the McFarlane stuff. 310. Larson. Some later run ASM. Then this jumps up. Look at this. This is signed by J. Scott Campbell. Right there. Boom. ASM 500. Wow. The beginning of this box was crazy good. 544. I don't know if that's a key. This looks like a variant of some sort. I'm not sure. That's part of One More Day. We got Ultimate Spider-Man 1/2. First Puma. Second Puma. And the whole Hobgoblin. Ned Leeds as Hobgoblin. This is an underrated book in my opinion. This is a great cover by McFarlane. And I think it's the first cover of both Green and Hobgoblin. Another McFarlane right there. That's that foil cover. That Venom key. More ASM, more ASM. I'm liking this box. It's some good stuff. That's the second appearance of Black Cat. Wow, I can't believe there were 2 first Rhinos in here. That was sick. All right. 871. So this seems like the later ASM stuff. We'll kind of breeze through this. Spider-Man Reign. That is the issue where you see little Peter Parker. I'll leave it at that. Look it up on Key Collector. Some Brand New Day stuff. That's a key. I think that's the first time Silk is in costume. 667. Wouldn't it be crazy if he had the Delato variant? I don't think that's going to be in here, but maybe. Ooh, issue 700. That is not a bad one. What is this? 700. Different variant of issue 700. I don't know that one. Another variant of 700. I might have to look these up. I think these are all variants of 700. Yep. There's the one with all the names of the artists. This is 699 with Morbius. 698. So we're going backwards now. That's a creepy cover. Yeah. More modern Spider-Man. Great covers. Great stuff. Especially the Dan Slott stuff. And we're almost at the end of this. But wait, that book came right out of the bag there. That was a Spectacular Spider-Man foil second print. First print of the regular Spider-Man one. 365. Not a newsie, but still pretty good. Another 365 again. Not a newsie. Wow, that box, insane. two 252s, two first appearance of Rhinos. Yeah, that Spidey box was definitely crazy. Anytime you see a collection and it's marked Amazing Spider-Man, you're usually going to be happy with what's in there. That was definitely the best Amazing Spider-Man box that I've found in a collection thus far. Let's get into some more Spider-Man and Spider-Man related stuff. I call this Spider-Man related because this is the run that gave us Spider-Man. Obviously, it doesn't have Spider-Man in it. It's a previous issue. Amazing Fantasy issue number 8, or rather Amazing Adult Fantasy issue number 8. They had that title for some of this run, eventually culminating in Amazing Fantasy 15, the first appearance of Spider-Man, which is the last issue of the run, and leading into Amazing Spider-Man number 1. Nonetheless, this is a great book. A lot of people collect the other books from this run because they are much more affordable as opposed to AF-15, and they're just a great piece of comic book history, written by Stan Lee, art by Steve Ditko. Moving on, we got Spectacular Spider-Man number 64. This is the first appearance of Cloak and Dagger. It's a newsstand. It's really, really high grade as well. This might end up staying in the PC if it is good enough. We'll have to take another look and see. We got Web of Spider-Man 118, first appearance of Ben Reilly as the Scarlet Spider, and just such a great 90s comic book cover. Love this one. And I still don't have a 9.8 for the PC for this one, so I don't think this one's going to grab that 9.8, but I'll take a look, see what happens with a clean and a press. Then we got Amazing Spider-Man Volume 3, number 4. This is the first appearance of Silk, Cindy Moon. Great character, in my opinion, a really underrated character. Like, you know, Spider-Gwen, all well and good, but I like Silk better than I like Spider-Woman. And, you know, that's probably an unpopular opinion, but I hope we see more of her in the future. Then we got this one right here. You might remember I picked one up a couple months ago as well. And I'm going to probably send them both to CGC because this is a pretty hard to find book, especially in high grade. This is Ultimate Spider-Man number 1, the white variant. Usually this has the whole city background with the red strip down the side, as you've usually seen Ultimate Spider-Man number 1, but this one is much harder to find. Definitely stay on the lookout for this if you're looking through a 90s or actually early 2000s collection. Then we got Marvel Team Up number 141. This is the second appearance of Spider-Man's black symbiote suit, and just such a classic cover at this point. And it's a team up with Daredevil, which who doesn't love? Then we got Marvel Spotlight 32, first appearance of Spider-Woman with that great cover with Nick Fury and all. I think this book is stupid underrated. I think this book is way too cheap. It was definitely a lot higher a couple years ago during the comic boom, but I expect this one to go up with time again, and it's probably going to stay with me. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Then we got a signed book right here. This is Secret Wars number 8. You know what it is. Classic cover, origin of the symbiote suit. And this one's actually double signed by Jim Shooter, and then down there at the bottom, Mike Zeck. It's got the COA as well, which is cool. Not necessarily needed, or it doesn't really mean much. COAs are kind of toss-up. Some people really like to have them. Some people don't care either way. But yeah, great book, and it's double signed by an awesome creative team. Then we got Amazing Spider-Man number 124. This is the first appearance of Man-Wolf, great Bronze Age key, and this might be a higher copy than the one in my personal collection. Oh, no, sorry, this is not the high-grade one. This is the ripped one. I got another one in a different collection recently that was higher grade. This one has got this part of the cover ripped off. Still a really solid book, but, you know, obviously that's going to take the price down quite a bit. Another Bronze Age ASM book, number 149. This is the first appearance of Ben Reilly, at that point just known as you know, the clone of Peter Parker. Didn't have the name Ben Reilly until the 90s, and actually was absent from comics during that entire time, from the mid 70s until the 90s. This is a really important book for anyone that, as a fan of Ben Reilly like myself, having grown up during that 90s clone saga. Then we got Amazing Spider-Man 238, first appearance of Hobgoblin. Unfortunately, this copy is missing the tattoos, so it goes from being a several hundred to even $1,000 plus book, depending on the grade, down to much less, without, but this is a great affordable copy for someone, and it presents incredibly well. It's a nice high grade, just is missing those tattoos. Jumping up to a modern book, which there wasn't a ton of in this collection, but there was some, and some of that stuff was really good. Amazing Spider-Man, what is this, 569? Ooh, I got that right. I'm pretty surprised. This is the first appearance of Anti-Venom. Almost said Agent Venom. This is Anti-Venom. And yeah, this is a modern book that is worth quite a bit due to probably reasonably low print runs at this time, as well as, just a popular character related to Venom. And speaking of Venom, yeah, you can't go wrong with this. This was actually up on his wall in his comic room. So this one was definitely one that I wasn't surprised by. I obviously knew was in there because, when he had sent me pictures initially of his comic room, this is one of the books that was on display. And so I know this one was here the whole time. A lot of these books, though, that were in the boxes were definitely more of a surprise. So great. Got to look at this. I haven't really taken much of a look. Might sell it raw. I've sold a couple copies raw, but I also have a couple copies going off to CGC. This is one of those books that there is a balance. You don't grade every single copy like you would have 2 years ago, but you got to make sure that if you're going to sell it raw, you're not leaving money on the table. You're not losing out on some value there. Moving on to some Fantastic Four stuff. We got this is kind of Fantastic Four. This is Tales of Suspense number 31. So that's pre-Iron Man Tales of Suspense. And you'll look at that guy down there, and you'll notice he looks quite a bit like Doctor Doom. This is a character that was a prototype of Doctor Doom, not Doctor Doom. This is actually the monster in the Iron Mask, I believe he's called. And as you can see, he looks a lot like Doctor Doom. This is a very expensive book, especially for not truly a first appearance or anything like that. This one probably staying PC. It's a decent mid-grade copy as well. Definitely want to get this one graded. Then we got Fantastic Four number 32. What is this? Is this a first appearance of something? Oh, this might be the death of Dr. Storm. I forget exactly what this is. So there we go. Somebody tell me. This was the earliest Fantastic Four issue that I found in this collection, though. And everything early Fantastic Four is of pretty significant value. Just because it's early Fantastic Four. Everyone wants to collect the Kirby, Stan Lee goodness. Same with this one. 35 is only a couple issues later. This is the first appearance of Dragon Lord. I forget his name. Great cover, though. Really, really cool one. Again, by Jack Kirby. Then we got issue 47. This is a pretty solid key. I feel like no one talks about this one. This actually is a preview of Galactus. Having with Galactus, issue 48 is first Silver Surfer and first cameo of Galactus, but there's actually a preview for Galactus in this book, the prior issue, and again, Jack Kirby goodness. Can't go wrong. Underrated book in my opinion. As well as this one of the greatest stories ever. It's just a one-shot story, Fantastic Four 51. This Man, This Monster is the title of the story. And I feel like this book, it gets sandwiched between some major keys. We have, 148, 149, 50, the Silver Surfer Galactus run. And then that's right before this. Then right after this issue is the first appearance of Black Panther and that little run with introducing Wakanda, Black Panther, and Claw. And I feel like this book just gets forgotten, but this is just one of the best one-shot stories of this time period. A great cover, once again, Jack Kirby goodness, and I feel like this book is underrated. Then we got Fantastic Four 55, couple issues later, Silver Surfer's back. So I think this is the fourth appearance of Silver Surfer, but I might be wrong about that. Classic Jack Kirby cover, and it's according to Key Collector, this is a weird one. This is the first time that Silver Surfer is wearing boxer briefs in his suit. I don't. He doesn't really wear a suit. Is that part of his body? I don't know. I don't know. But this next one is my favorite Kirby Silver Surfer cover, issue 72 of Fantastic Four, with that red background with the Watcher. Oh my goodness, this might be my favorite Jack Kirby cover in general. Definitely my favorite Surfer cover. There's not much more to say about that. Classic cover. Then we got Fantastic Four, number 112, another classic cover, Thing versus the Incredible Hulk. And this is John Buscema, I believe. And yeah, that's what that is. It is one of the most sought after covers of that time period. Then we're moving on to some Silver Surfer, since we just did Fantastic Four. Starting off with a big one right here. Silver Surfer number 1. First Silver Surfer series. Only 18 issues, Silver Age to maybe early Bronze, but it might have capped in the Silver Age. This book speaks for itself. This whole run is sought after. Every book in this run is of value, but there's only 18 of them, so a lot of people try to collect it just because it's easy to finish. And there was a lot of books from this run, including this next one, Silver Surfer number 3, first appearance of Mephisto. Will this character ever come to the MCU? There's been rumors for years. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? We'll see if it happens, but still a valuable key whether the character shows up in the movies or not. And same with this one. This key depends completely on this incredible cover, one of the most sought-after covers of all time. Silver Surfer number 4. You may remember just a couple months ago, I actually got a copy of this. First time I ever found it in a collection. It was really low grade, though, probably a 1.5. But now I got this copy, much, much nicer. Definitely, super sought after. Other than number 1, this is the most sought after book in the run by far, and it's not even a key, not even a first appearance. This is much more a value than the first Mephisto, which it's crazy. It's crazy, right? That you would think the first appearance would, from the same run, an issue earlier would overtake, but this is the more valuable of the books. We're getting to the last couple here. We're going to Daredevil. This is issue 16. This is the first time Spider-Man is in the Daredevil run. It's also the first time that John Romita draws Spider-Man. He was, working for Marvel at the time, doing other runs, but Steve Ditko was still on Spider-Man at this time. And I would think that this cover, this really phenomenal cover of Spider-Man and how he drew the character, might be a big part of the reason that John Romita got the job drawing Spider-Man when Steve Ditko left Marvel. He started at issue 39 of which we saw earlier in this video. Great one. Issue 39 was when Ditko took over, but this does predate that. So first time he drew Spider-Man, I believe in any, definitely on a cover, but I believe it's the first time he drew Spider-Man in a published Marvel work. So boom, there you go. That's a great one. We got some other great Daredevil keys as well. Issue number 131, the first appearance of Bullseye. This is a book that I have never found in a collection, despite buying so many Bronze Age collections and actively seeking out Daredevil stuff for myself, because that's one thing that I collect. This one has never been in a collection that I bought, so very happy to finally have grabbed that. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not. It's going to depend on the grade. I'm a little stingy on my Bronze Age stuff. It's got to be really high grade. But speaking of Bronze Age stuff, this next one as well, first appearance of Electro, issue 168 of Daredevil. First time Frank Miller was writing on Daredevil. He did do the previous handful of issues, the art, but he was actually doing both the art and writing, which is really interesting that one person was doing all of that. It really allowed him to, collaborate in a different way. We have artist and writer teams collaborating with each other and interpreting and stuff like this, but he really got to put to paper what he imagined in his mind, which I think is really cool. On to the last book of this video. This, I have to think, despite the low grade, is the most valuable book in this collection. And, there's still a lot to come. A couple more videos to come, so don't fret. There's a lot of good stuff, but I think this is the highest value book. Now, you'll notice that there is tape all down the side of this book right here. There's some tape up at the top. There's little chips out of the cover, all that stuff, but this is a major key. Daredevil number 1. First appearance of Matt Murdock. Daredevil, also first appearance of Foggy Nelson, first appearance of Karen Page, and just one of the great Silver Age key first appearances in Marvel Comics. I've picked this book up a couple times recently. This one, obviously, being really low grade, is not going to stay with me. This is going to be up for sale in my my claim sales. In fact, most of the books that you saw here today, as well as a lot more stuff that's coming in this collection, is going to be up for grabs, because I got to recoup that money that I spent on it. And speaking of money, so the guy who I bought it from, he said, give a range. Don't talk about the exact dollar value that I spent, but you can give a range on it. And I'll say I spent between $5,000 and $10,000 on this collection. It was not cheap. It was not, some yard sale find for $100, obviously. I paid up. It was between 5 and 10,000. I still think I got a great deal, and I'll be able to, move this over time. It is going to be a lot of work. I've put in, I don't even know, hours and hours and hours already. 20, 30 hours already. I'm not even sure where I'm at. I don't really keep track of that stuff. Probably should, but yeah, I put in so much time already, and you'll notice none of these books have even been rebagged and boarded yet. It was really just sorting at first. So now it's on to the bagging and boarding, grading and pricing, selling, sending stuff off to CGC. There's a lot that's going to go with this collection, but I think there will be a nice return when all is said and done. I think minimally this collection is worth $20, $25, maybe even $30,000, and there's potential for it being even higher than that once grading comes into effect. So yeah, really gotta see what I'm gonna do, what's gonna go off to get graded and stuff, but. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed the dig through of the box and those kind of first reactions from me. I've never done a video like that before. Maybe I have, but either way, I hope that's a cool new thing, and I'll do it for the other videos for this collection if that's something people want to see. Anyway, please like, subscribe, all that stuff, enter the giveaways, and until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.